Look, we all know AI is insanely powerful, but as more and more companies are rushing to get on board, there's this huge looming question. How do you actually use this amazing tech without putting your company's most sensitive data at risk? Okay, let's get right into it and figure out how to build your AI fortress. So, let's start with maybe the most important question you should be asking. When your team uses one of those public AI tools, do you have any idea where your confidential information is actually going? Is it secure? And listen, this isn't just some theoretical thing. It's a critical security question you have to answer. And believe me, the stakes are huge. We're talking about everything from confidential company files and private customer data to legal contracts, all your financial info, and even your secret sauce, your internal strategy documents. You can see why a lot of businesses are kind of pumping the brakes on going all in with AI. And that right there is the AI privacy dilemma. On one side, you've got this incredible potential of AI to completely change the game for your business. But on the other, you have these very real, very serious data privacy risks. So, how do you get all that power without all the peril? Well, the answer really starts with understanding that you're standing at a fork in the road. There are two main paths you can take to deploy AI, and each one treats your data in a completely different way. We're talking about cloud AI versus local AI. Okay, so on one side, you've got cloud AI. The best way to think about this is like a public highway. You bundle up your data, you send it out to a company like OpenAI, Google, or Anthropic. They do their thing on their massive servers, and they send a result back to you. It's super fast, it's convenient, but your data has to leave your building and travel on that public highway. And then you've got the other option, local AI, which we'll call your private fortress. In this setup, the AI model runs directly on your own hardware, your servers, inside your network. And here's the absolute game changer. Your data never leaves your secure environment. You hold all the keys. So, let's break down the real trade-offs here. Cloud AI, it's all about speed and ease. It's fast to set up, easy to integrate. But you're signing up for their data policies and you're taking on some compliance risks. Local AI, on the other hand, gives you that ironclad control and privacy. But it comes with a price tag. You got to pay for the hardware, and the setup is definitely more involved. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. A lot of really smart companies are taking a hybrid approach. It's kind of the best of both worlds strategy. You use your secure local AI for the really sensitive stuff, like analyzing internal financial reports. And you use the easy button cloud AI for more general things, like, say, brainstorming marketing slogans. It's a fantastic way to balance security and cost. All right, so now we know the lay of the land. We have our options, but let's get practical. How do you, as a leader in your company, actually decide which path is the right one for you? You know, it all really comes down to one simple question. When does it make sense to seriously think about bringing your AI in-house? And the answer has almost everything to do with the kind of data you work with day in and day out. Think of this chart as your cheat sheet. Look, if your business touches any of this stuff, financial records, medical data under HIPAA, government contracts, or your priceless intellectual property, you absolutely need to be thinking about a local or hybrid model. The risk of a data leak is just, it's not worth it. Now, if you're not dealing with that level of sensitivity, hey, the public highway of the cloud might be just fine for you. Okay, so let's say you've decided, yep, the private fortress is for me. What does that actually look like? What does it take to build one? Because it's a lot more than just buying a new desktop computer. All right, let's talk about the money side of things, because this is obviously a big deal. With cloud AI, your cost to get started is super low, but those costs can really creep up over time as you pay for every single use. With local AI, it's the exact opposite. You've got a much bigger investment up front to buy the hardware, but over the long run, your costs can be way lower, especially if you're using it a lot. It's that classic build versus buy dilemma, right? And that initial investment, well, it's going into some pretty serious gear. We're talking about dedicated servers with a ton of memory, or RAM, powerful graphics cards, those GPUs that do all the heavy lifting, and of course, a rock-solid security setup. That part, you just can't skip it. And remember, it's not a one-and-done purchase. You also need the people, the IT pros, who can keep this powerful system running and secure. Okay, so you've thought about the costs, you know the hardware you need. Now what? I know, this can feel like a lot to juggle, but it all comes down to just having a clear, simple plan. So let's wrap this up with a framework you can start using right away for adopting AI the smart way.
Here it is. It's just 4 steps. Seriously, you could start thinking about this tomorrow. First, identify what your most sensitive data actually is. Second, classify how you plan to use AI. Which tasks will touch that sensitive data? Third, decide on the right deployment for each task, local, cloud, or a mix. And finally, you have to monitor and audit everything to make sure it's all working like it should. It sounds simple, and it is, but man, is it powerful. And sticking to a plan like that helps you dodge these really common and frankly very expensive mistakes. We're talking about things like employees just casually uploading a confidential client list to a public tool, or having no official company policy on how to use AI, or, and this is a big one, blindly trusting every single thing an AI spits out without checking it. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Bringing AI into your company isn't just about chasing the newest, shiniest, most powerful tool. It's really about taking responsibility for how you use that power and making sure you build your systems with security baked in from day one. So I'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on. As you move forward and plan your next steps with AI, ask yourself this. Is your strategy just about being powerful, or is it actually built to protect your fortress?